Kevin. Thanks for joining me for episode 3 of my podcast series, Cybersecurity Kept Simple, 24/7, 365. There's hardly a day goes by that I don't hear of some sort of data breach or other cyber attack. It's almost at the point now where, in cybersecurity terms, there's not much that shocks me anymore. I wanted to share a recent personal cyber experience that did and still does shock me. I was able to connect to an internet-connected switch and use that as a staging point to work my way through the entire network of a large telecommunications provider. I frequently assist organizations with these types of tests. This is by far the poorest security and the worst incident response that I've personally witnessed. In this episode, I'll break down my key findings and point out simple mistakes that led to this catastrophic network breach. This organization has around 1.4 million customers, 4,000 employees, and a reported annual revenue of $120 million. As I performed a security assessment of the perimeter, it quickly became clear the organization had very poor cybersecurity awareness. Numerous simple mistakes that in a corporate environment should have been detected and corrected, combined with complacency and a lack of security processes, led to a breach of the entire network. Hundreds of routers, switches, firewalls, and other devices spread across the entire country were breached as part of this assessment, with many issues still remaining. I was able to recognize signs of others having been there before me, with access lists permitting hosts from Vietnam, the Netherlands, South Africa, England, and the US, among others. The number of entries in these access lists and the diversity of the locations contained within suggest this organization has been breached by multiple actors. And indicators from different logs suggest they have been embedded for some time and continue to be like ghosts in the wires. One of the first steps with these types of engagements is to do a bit of recon on the target IP address ranges. Organizations like telcos usually have large attack surfaces, but this company has taken that to a whole new level. Firewalls, network switches, routers, even an access pass management portal, all published and available on the public internet. The combination of management and data traffic on the same IP address ranges is generally something that's not considered good practice. I was able to browse to a federal government website via the IP address, and when I increased the IP address by 1 octet, I was presented with a portal to log into that agency's internet firewall. Demilitarized zones, or DMZs, are used to publish desired content to the internet. One of the purposes of a DMZ is to contain the damage if an internet-connected server is compromised. Traffic to and from a server or a device in a DMZ should be tightly restricted and monitored. Nothing should be published to the internet without the risks being fully understood and any mitigation measures deployed. The first critical mistake made by this organization was presenting an unsecured admin portal to a network switch. I was able to create a new user for myself and permit full management access from my IP address. I now had visibility of the second critical mistake made by this organization: insecurely stored passwords. When they created the administrative account on the switch that I now had access to, they stored the password in a hashed format that has been deprecated and known as insecure since 1996. At this stage, I have full admin access to a perimeter switch on the telco's network. Although the situation isn't ideal for the organization, in a well-designed and secure network, the unauthorized access would be contained only to this switch. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case for this telco. I was able to use this switch as a staging point, using it to move laterally within their network. As I moved deeper within their network, I also set up a packet capture and a handful of switches. When I analyzed the data, I noticed another serious mistake they were making, using insecure management protocols. In this case, it was Telnet, which is a management protocol that sends every bit of data in clear text, allowing it to be captured and read without any special decryption tools. Secure replacements such as Secure Shell have been around since the 90s and have been used extensively in corporate environments for at least 20 years. I quickly discovered that they'd made another critical mistake: password reuse. This allowed me to log on to other switches with the administrative account I already had. I was able to log on to dozens of switches and routers as I pleased, gathering additional administrator accounts and easily decrypted hashes along the way. At this stage, I have multiple admin accounts and have managed to find multiple ingress points to their national network. Incredibly, I was able to successfully log into over 20 internet-facing switches using the accounts I had acquired. As I continued to footprint their network, I was able to successfully log into over 16 perimeter and data center firewalls and all network devices in their distributed data centers, WAN and DMZ environments. It was evident that any type of monitoring was non-existent as I worked my way through. I easily would have generated over 1,000 logins during my testing, with many hundreds of failed login attempts. Next up was the extranet, or B2B network. I was able to log on to all managed switches for financial institutions, including switches that were directly connected to hundreds of ATM machines across the country. Other customers presented me with banners letting me know the names of their organizations. From my analysis of logs and observations of device configurations, it is clear that the network has been breached by enthusiasts/cyber vandals, as well as what I believe are state actors and/or organized cyber criminals. The timing of certain logged events indicates some of these unauthorized actors have been active in this network for over 12 months. In my view, the primary cybersecurity weakness within this organization is their lack of cybersecurity awareness within their workplace culture. Incident response has been abysmal, and remediation to clearly identified issues has been non-existent. It's not surprising to me that this same organization was victim of a $6 million ransomware attack last year. Anytime you get a new appliance or anything that needs to connect to your home or business network, it's important to check why it needs access to the network and whether it is contactable. Many digital appliances are managed via internet browsers and an IP address. Make sure new or updated management portals on digital devices are not publicly available. Similarly, any default credentials should be changed at initial setup time. During this assessment, with this telco, I was able to access over 100 fiber controllers across multiple sites using the default credentials of admin and admin. All users should adopt a multi-layered defensive cyber posture. Simple steps such as endpoint protection, the use of password managers, and keeping all system hardware and software versions current all reduce the likelihood of becoming a cybercrime victim. Thanks for joining me for this breakdown of how a series of common and simple mistakes led to a full network breach. I hope you found it enjoyable and informative. Until next time, protect yourself and stay safe from the ghosts and the wires. Cheers!